Hello, everyone. It's been a while. I've really missed all of you. I intend to do this as often as I can, but um, work and other stuff kind of take our time, and it's been a while. I come live again, but I'm really excited to be here this evening to be sharing some of my thoughts with you guys around and some of my experiences. It's really good to be here again. I've missed you guys. Honestly, missed you guys. So if you are just joining me for the first time, I'm Kenneth Obayuana. I'm very passionate for I have a strong passion for agriculture, and I've practiced agriculture or agribusiness for 10 years. So because I've said there's difference between agriculture and agribusiness. So farming and agribusiness. When you do the business side of it is when we call agribusiness. There's the science side of it, there's the business side of it, and there is the art side of agriculture. So um however I kind of dwell more on the agribusiness side, talk about how to make money out of it, and that's what we'll be doing today again as usual. So today I'll be talking on what I titled Why Agribusiness Failed. So if you know anyone, if you're watching me, wherever you're watching me from, you know anyone who have interest in agriculture, somebody who's thinking of investing money in agriculture, somebody who is interested in going into agriculture, who is thinking about going to agriculture, or somebody who is already involved in agriculture, share this link. So you're watching from I don't know where you're watching from. Could be from YouTube, from LinkedIn, from Facebook. Just share this link and share it to as many people as you can. Let's get more people in the room. Let's get more people to learn and hear what we are sharing as regarding agribusiness. It's if you know why something failed, you will avert it, right? So that's why I want to teach you why agribusiness is failed. Because in my country, Nigeria, I don't know where you're watching from right now. And I think it's everywhere anyway. So if you drove and you see some of those rural areas where farming takes place, you see a lot of farms are packed up. You see a lot of people who have passion for agriculture, they've packed up. The passion is dying. They fade in agribusiness. There's a lot of reasons why they fade. There's a lot of reasons why agribusiness is fade. And I'm going to be sharing some of the things, some of the reasons why agribusinesses fail. There's a lot of reasons why the businesses fail. But if you know, to help. A wise man once said to me, I think it was in a business school. I heard that um it was a lecturer actually. He said when when he was preparing a curriculum for I think for his church on marriage, he set up the committee of people who was going to come up with the curriculum they were using teaching. And in all the committee were I think there's seven, I can't recall. So but he added one, there were seven. So it picked six of five people who are successful already, who are successful marriage, sorry, not wedding, successful marriage, and he added two who had failed marriage. And he said, "Oh, you're curious. Like, why are you adding people? I mean, we should be talking about people who had successful marriage, and why are you bringing people who had failed?" He said he told these people that it's good that we learn from people who are successful. It's also good we learn from people who are failed, so that we will know how not to fail in marriage. So it's not just good enough to hear the successful part. It's also good we also hear the failure part. Why the marriage failed? Why it did not work? So that's what we are doing today. We've talked about where money is in agribusiness. In previous, if you've not watched that, you can go check it on my YouTube channel. Is there? We've talked about what to consider before going to agribusiness. It's also good. We talked about we also looked at why agribusinesses fail. What's the reason why? Why does people fail in agribusiness? Why is that people does not succeed in agribusiness? What's happening there? What's happening in that sector? And agribusiness is not like every other business. So you could have run other business and you were successful or you failed, But I'll tell you for a fact, if you don't have the skills, if you don't, if it's not for agribusiness, it's not for agribusiness. There's a I don't want to put it like there's a special skills required to run agribusiness anyway, but there's a certain reason why agribusiness can fail. And if you know it, you can avoid the pitfalls. Yeah, there will be there are measures you can put in place to avoid those falls so that you don't fail in your own ways. So that's why we are here. So that's why we are here discussing why agribusinesses fail. There are a lot of reasons. We're going to be exploring them, don't worry. We're going to be exploring them. So if you are just joining me for the first time before we go, I love you to share the link one more time. Tell your friends, tell your loved ones, tell them to get into the room, get as many people you can, get them to join us as we dive deep into this topic. Why agribusiness fail? Why? Why does agribusiness fail? What's the reason why? There's a lot of reasons. You know, people in diaspora. I kind of talk to a lot of diaspora when I'm here because I also understand that um back home, one of the people who really have passion to put in money are uh um diaspora guys. Yeah, diaspora guys. So today, as usual, we'll be talking on why agribusiness failed. Why does it fail? Why is that is not succeeding? Why is the industry terrible? What's really happening? All right. So without wasting much time, let's go. Why does agribusiness fail? Is there money really in agribusiness? Oh, they are cajoling us to join. No, there's money in agribusiness, honestly speaking. There's a lot of money in agribusiness. There's a lot of money in agribusiness. There's money in agribusiness. But does it mean that because there's money, if you don't prepare properly, you can't fail? Yes, you can fail if you don't prepare properly. But first, let's be clear. There's money in agribusiness. There's money in agribusiness. So number one reason why agribusiness is failed is number one, market volatility. Market volatility. Market volatility. There is always, I've talked about, I don't know if I've teach on this program on because this agripreneur guide. So yeah, we kind of guide you into agribusiness, all right? But I don't know if I've teach you on how to secure your market. If I've not, I'll do that maybe in a subsequent episode, how to secure your market. But however, in secure your market, the first thing you do is secure your market. You need to have your niche, you need to have your market. We talked about that. We'll talk about that in subsequent time. So that's why you need to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can get notification whenever we are live like this. So come up with your questions. Don't say that. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a lot of information there around agriculture and agri-tech information, right? So, but first of all, one of the reasons why agribusiness is failed is market volatility. The market can be volatile and it will affect your produce. I'll give an example. So I've been involved in cassava farm. So I think I've shared that experience here too. So in my cassava farm, I'm going to use to sort my produce, cassava and palm oil. There's something you check. I think it's everywhere. So in cassava farm, what naturally happen is that you you pick a crop. Before I pick a crop, before I move into cassava, because I have had the failure. So in my own experience, so I don't know if you listen to the story I talked about in previous episode where I talked about I went into agri businesses and they were pricing my cassava they were under pricing my cassava, not undermining what the input that was put. The market were under pricing it. Now look at what happens in my locality where I farm, right? When cassava, if this year cassava is expensive, next year, be rest assured, cassava will be, will not have value. It's going to be very cheap the following year. It has always been like that for the last 5 to 10 years, if not more than. Always like that. When people hear that, oh, cassava, cassava is expensive. Oh, cassava is expensive. Oh, cassava is expensive. Oh, a lot of people tend to put within, boom, jump into it. This year cassava is expensive, so everybody wants to go and farm cassava. So the next year there's a lot of cassava trends. Like there's a lot of cassava in the market the next year. It's always like that. Now, what do you do? What do you do to avoid market volatility? Study when will this product be scarce in the market? If you can target when the market or product will be scarce in the market, introduce your product to the market when the product is less available in the market. That's because one of the reasons why big businesses fail is because of the market volatility. Your business will always fail when you have people to buy, when you have people to buy, and when people are underpricing your products. When there's fluctuation in markets, in commodity price, it fails. You give up. You tend to give up. You tend to quit. Why? Because there's markets. There's fluctuation in the markets in um commodity price. So it can lead to failure in business. And how do you avoid that? Target your market. Know when to bring your produce to the market. Don't bring your produce when the product is common in the market. Introduce your produce when the market is when the product is scarce. And how do you know that? You study the market. It could take, when I talk about studying this market, it could take you a year or two to study it. So this little one I just told you about my cassava in my locality. It takes me a while to study that. Oh, this year cassava was expensive. There was a lot of cassava in the market. So next year, because when there's a lot of cassava in the market in my own locality, what I find out is when there's a lot of when there's a lot of produce in the market, so there tend to be fluctuation in the market price. So people start selling now because there's a lot of cassava to buy. So people start selling it away, and a lot of people will quit. I'm not selling this year. I'm not doing it again this year. So what usually happens is that the next year there'll be a lot, the market will be scarce. So when I noticed that kind of market, so what I started doing was I target, everybody's rushing in now. I don't do this year. I wait for the upper year. So I bring in my own. So when I bring in my own, it's scarce that period. So I said I determine the price that year because it's not common. You can't get it everywhere. Then when everybody now like, this year is scarce, everybody's rushing in again. I don't do again. I wait till the next years again. So I withdraw. So that's one secret. You must introduce your produce when there is when there is scarcity of produce in the market. That's when you bring your produce to get your market. All right. Supply and demand imbalance. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. It's still that market volatility. Supply and demand imbalance. So much supply, you know, and and of course, another thing that could also affect market volatility is change in customer preference can lead to financial instability. A lot of customer can change. A lot of people they're not really interested in this produce, in your products, in what you're producing. They're not really interested. So that could be another challenge, right? That could be another challenge, honestly. Then number two, why agribusinesses fail? Number two, agribusinesses fail because weather and environmental factors could be a another reason why agribusinesses fail. And some of this I'm discussing, and there are people journey from different locations. So I've kind of tailored look at on a global scale why agribusinesses fail on a global scale across the globe. So that's what I'm looking at. Second reason I've talked about number one, market volatility. Number two, weather and environment factors. Weather. And that's why climate is becoming a very big issue today. And I really advise more young people to come to this space and advocate for climate because it's affecting every one of us. And farmers are one of the people suffering climate change. They are one of the people suffering it. So whether climate could be a big factor. You understand? Crop fails due to adverse weather conditions. Crops can fail through adverse weather condition or environmental factors could be a reason why you fail. So imagine you plant a crops and that particular seasons, the weather or the climate affect your crops, and there's no rain. It's supposed to be a rainy season. It's supposed to be a lot of rain that period. You've targeted it. Of course, that's what I'm talking about irrigation. Thank God for that kind of technology. But however, there are still other climate factors that could affect your crops, and you didn't even plan it, and then before you know, there is fail in that business. Your crops cannot do well, they cannot grow. And let me tell you, before you come into agri business, these are some factors you should consider. Consider them, know them, and think of ways to avoid them. Think of ways to avoid them. Weather conditions is another key factor why agri business can go wrong. You know, some years back in Nigeria, I saw a lot of people they're using crowdfunding to run agri business. And when I talked about how to fund your agri business, I don't know when I'll touch that. How to fund your agri business is one of them is crowdfunding, but there's a way to go about it. Can go about it wrongly. So, and you can see on social media, they were calling this one, they scam me, they scam me, they scam me. No, at some point, those people did not really scam you. Weather conditions could have been the reason why the agri business is failed. Weather conditions. Let me see. Okay, weather conditions could be another reason why they failed. Weather conditions could be another reason why they failed. So you need to consider the weather. You need to have studied the weather. See, agribusiness is not, it's not a shy play. Oh. Honestly speaking, we've been there. So there could be there could be weather conditions like droughts. There could be weather conditions like floods. There could be weather conditions like floods, and there could even be pests, environmental issues, pests. I've found in the past, I've found it, and that was even in a greenhouse. I found tomatoes, no bell pepper. It was my bell pepper, and pests invaded. Sorry, and pests invaded my produce and destroyed everything. Will make a very high loss that year. I visited a farm in the UK, and it's a greenhouse. They didn't even allow us to get in. And for their farm workers, before you get in, you have to do like 6 sanitizer. You have to sanitize yourself. First, you have to put your clothes, sanitize yourself in first room, second room, third room, fourth room, fifth room, sixth room before you enter the greenhouse. So I asked why, and they said their experience on how pests have dealt with them in the previous years, and because of that pest devastations, they make a very huge loss, and they don't want to make that loss, so they need to put up that major to avoid, because there's no way pests or diseases can gain access to the greenhouse except somebody introduce it. So they have to put on those measures, because that's why there's a greenhouse, so I can control some of these things. All right. So these are some of the things that could be a factor that can lead to failure in agribusiness. So the person knows what he's doing, is an expert, he understands the business, he understands the industry, but weather conditions like drought, weather conditions like floods, environmental factors like pests, environmental factors like diseases could become a very significant could make a very significant impact on the produce, and they can make a very huge loss in the business. In short, if you're not careful, they can make a very huge loss that can lead to the fold up of the farm if care is not taken. I'm not joking. I'm telling you reality of what is happening in the agri business space. Right. Number three, financial mismanagement. A lot of agri businesses don't, there's no proper financial management. There is a way, and I think there's a lot of apps you could use now, right? There are a lot of apps you could use now to run your financial management for your agri business, to keep track of financial inflow and financial outflow. What is coming in, what is going out. Take stock of all your stocks of your business. Take stocks of the total A lot of people don't understand financial management. And in agribusiness, we think that, oh, we don't treat agribusiness as though it's proper business. You play with it. There's a lot of financial mismanagement, and this can lead to agribusiness failure. You must put proper financial structure in place for your agribusiness to succeed. There must be a proper financial structure. And let me tell you, if you have the money, you can get an accountant to help you put proper financial structure for your business. But however, if you don't have money to get financial accountant, what do? You can go ahead and use some apps. There are some basic apps you can use today to track the financial sector of your business. There are some apps like that you can use to track some of all these things. There are, yes, there are some apps like that. Um, I don't want to call names, but I know there's there is I think if you're in Nigeria, there's Vetsac, there's Agrif. There are lot of apps you can use to run your to manage your finance as an agri business. Listen, this is agri business, and as a business, you must have proper financial management. If there's no proper financial management, how do you know how much you make in a year? You ask a farmer how much you make in a year. They don't know their numbers. A lot of farmers don't even know their numbers. You understand? You cannot run business without knowing your numbers. You should know your numbers. I mean, when I mean know your numbers, mean know how much is your farm producing. How many tons of produce is coming out of your farm per acres? How many farms? How many? How much you spend in your chemicals? How much do you spend in your produce? How much do you spend in one produce to even determine what you use in selling, the price you use in selling? How much do you use to put in your labors? These are all things you need to put in place. Proper financial documents must be in place. How do you even know you are making profits? How do you even know you are making losses? Some people, some market places are making losses. They're not even aware because there's no proper financial management. No proper financial management, right? So if there's no proper financial management, how do you now track some of these things? There's no way you can track them. So as an agri business, as an investor, you must, as an investor investing in agribusiness, you must have, you know, proper financial management. Don't let anybody cajole you that there's money. I've done my research. There's money in this product, in this produce. There's money in this produce. Let's go in. No, calm down. Tell them, calm down, calm down. Let there be first proper financial management. A lot of agribusinesses like this, and that's the reason why they are failing. They don't know, they lack it, and that's the reason why they are failing. There must be proper financial management. At the end of the year, there's nothing even stopping you from getting an audit or audit your account. Pay an audit or audit your account. Pay an audit to audit your account. See, this is what I'm telling you. They will save you in the long run if you do them properly. They will save you in the long run. Poor financial planning and poor financial planning is one of the key reasons why having business are failing. One of the key reasons. Another reason again, still talking on proper mismanagement, excessive debt. Ha ha. You just press your calculator. A lot of people have done this. Say, "Oh, I want to go into agribusiness." I've experienced it too. I want to go into agribusiness. You just press cucumber. They just say you cucumber 40 days. 40 days, you can become a multi-millionaire as a cucumber farmer. And then they just press calculator with you that if we produce every once it takes 40 days, every week you can start harvesting, and you can harvest up to like 60 bags, 100 bags, 100 times 5,000 per bag. Look at how much you'll be making every week. And you can sell for the next, you can sell you can invest for if properly done. These are the ways we use. If properly done, you can invest 10 times, and you don't have the money. You go and borrow excessive debt. Because first of all, you don't even have proper capacity to manage the funds. Then you now borrow. I'm talking about managing the funds. It starts on putting proper structure to manage the funds. But now you don't even have that. You now borrowed excessive debt can lead to can lead to failure in agribusiness. Excessive debt. Know how much you need to borrow. See, those guys that were screaming that people were screaming on social media, this one has duped me, that company has duped me. Excessive debt. They took more than what they could manage. In agribusiness, you don't, and I've said it over time here that see, in agribusiness, you don't even start with debt. It's better we start with grant, personal money, funds with people. Don't go and borrow bank. Don't go and do loan. But however, excessive debt from even with family and friends is still dangerous. So this is what I advise people: start little, start little. From that your little, you can start growing it. Build capacity to grow the small business, the small farm. Start from your backyard. Start from your garden. Start from your balcony. Start little. From there, take it step by step. The profit you are making from the little one, keep investing it. Keep investing it. Because over time, excessive debt is another reason why. Because you see some of the factors that there's a lot of factors to consider that can lead to failure that you didn't consider. You now went to borrow money and now leads to failure. How do you come out of it? So excessive debt is another reason why agribusiness is failed. And, and this is under what proper improper management of funds. Oh, excessive debt. Uh, Misallocation of resources can lead to financial difficulties. Misallocation. Now, if there's no structure for your finance, that is to say, how you allocate, there's things for them to be faults in how you allocate your funds. How do you allocate your funds? How do you allocate your funds in agribusiness? How do you allocate your funds? Where do you put your money in? How do you know the right channels to put your money in? How do you know the right things to get? Excessive allocations is another issue. And one of the ways for you to track excessive allocations of funds in agribusiness is to have proper financial structure. And this is one of the reasons why I advise you go into agribusiness, get an accountant to help you structure, put proper financial structure. I'm not an accountant. So, you don't, I'm not saying this to for you so you cannot start DMing me and say, oh, no, I'm not an accountant. So I'm telling you the right thing to do, right? Excessive funds. Then another challenge you could face in your agribusiness is the fourth one is regulation challenges. The government can make rules that will affect you. Government, they are that powerful. They can make rules that will affect you. Now, I'll tell you what to do about that. You know, what I'm teaching today, what I'm teaching. Okay, people, questions are already tripping. I'll try and tackle the questions. Anyways, you know, what I'm trying to do here today is to tell you some of why agribusiness is failed and how you can avoid it. How you can avoid those pitfalls. So that's what I'm teaching today. Now, regulations. Regulation challenges, there's regulation challenges. People make mistakes. Regulation challenges. Regulation challenges. There's a lot of regulation challenges. Government can wake up and make and say they've banned these products. You know, so imagine somebody who's producing GMO. I'm not against GMO, I'm not for GMO, but I'm just using as an example. And some country wake up and say they've banned GMO production in their country. They've banned fertilizers from coming in. They've banned importation. But boundaries has been closed. Those are kind of regulations that can affect your produce. There's a lot of regulations that can affect your produce. So changing government regulations is something you should watch out for. Now I'll tell you, don't worry, I'll tell you how to also overcome it. Trade policies. There are trade policies that constantly keep changing. Trade policies could change and it could affect your agribusiness. Compliance with requirements can create uncertainty and hinder business operations. Compliance compliance requirements can create uncertainty and hinder what business operations. Now we talk about compliance. There are some based on your Every country has their own regulations. They have their certain place you could, if it's, for example, if it's an organic, you're supposed to certificate organic certified, so that people will understand that okay, this is really organic. If it's places like Nigeria, some there are some produce, there are some um government agencies you're supposed to register with, you know, and if you don't comply with them, they can come and fold up your place, shut it down. That's government for you. However, what do we do so we can avoid these pitfalls? What do we do so we can avoid these pitfalls? Number one thing we can do to avoid these pitfalls is join an association. Be part of the people making policies for you. We cannot wake up and leave the policy scene for government. Government doesn't even understand the industry. Most countries, especially in Africa, their commissioner of agriculture or minister of agriculture doesn't even study agriculture. They don't have idea of that sector. They just appoint them based on politics. So you're not leaving the people doesn't even understand your industry. You're leaving it for them to start making policies for you. And this is the reason why I've moved from just farming to play in the policy space on a global level, to play on this policy space. So what do you do? Join relevant association in your industry, in the agribusiness. Join relevant associations. And don't just be a floor member in that association. Work yourself to become the boss. Work yourself to become one of the executives in that association so that you can have an input, so that you can start determining some of the policies, and so that the policy doesn't just affect you. So you go in and play in the policy space by setting policies that will favor the industry because you understand the industry. So you cannot leave it for these people that doesn't understand the industry. No, you can't. It's too risky for us. So what do you do? Joining relevant associations. So that's another way to avoid that pitfalls. Another thing again is technology gaps. There's a lot of technology coming into the space. You need to um keep yourself abreast with latest trends in the tech space. What's technology that is coming up? Like an innovation in your business. A lot of agri businesses, a lot of farmers, they don't even know latest agri-tech trends that is coming up. So there's technology gaps. And I kind of help you talk about that gaps. So follow me if you don't follow me on LinkedIn, Kenneth Obayuana. So on Monday I do search for me, Kenneth Obayuana. You cannot follow me on LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, every Monday I talked about the future of agriculture, where I write about what's possibly going to happen in the agri-tech space, latest technology. I talked about them, analyze them, you know, and then talk about them, analyze those companies, what's going to be happening in the agri-tech space. You know, I talk about them very well. Then I talk about what the young people should be doing to prepare for themselves for these technologies that are coming into space. I talked about what the government should be doing. What kind of policies should the government be doing? So I kind of give advice to government people who are reading my content on what they should be doing on that tech space, on the agri-tech, African agri-tech technology that are coming on board. So if you're not following me, do where to follow me, as there's so much information I'm dropping there for you as regarding agri-tech information. So you avoid these agri-tech gaps. I've just given you one of the ways to one of the ways to avoid that pitfalls, right? This is what I just shared with you now. Follow me on agri. Sorry, hold on. So follow me on LinkedIn. It's one of the ways you can cover this tech gap in the agri-tech space. Then on Friday, I've not dropped today. I send a letter to agri-tech founders. So if you're an agri-tech founder, follow me on LinkedIn. On my LinkedIn platform, I do so much on agri-tech. Then I also host a show. So I'm really trying to do so much on the agri-tech space, and as I'm aware that a lot of people are not really um a lot of people are not really closing the gap. as we get the technology, and I'm helping people to close that gap. So I also do also a show called Agritech Founders Diary, where I bring Agritech founders to share their experience, their lessons, what they've been through. I just begin to share their lessons, share what they've been doing, and all that on Agritech Digest. Sorry, that's not Agritech Digest. On Agritech Founders Diary. Then I run a company called Agritech Digest where we analyze some of all these trends, agritech information, agritech technology that's coming up. So I kind of do a lot of stuff to cover the agritech gap in the agritech space. So just follow me on LinkedIn. You get a lot of all these informations straight on LinkedIn. You won't get it on other platforms. All right, because really another reason why agribusinesses fail is because of failure to adopt modern farming techniques. Farmers, farmers, they don't like changes. They don't want to adopt these latest technologies that are coming on board. They're not even aware of some of them, and those of them that are even aware are not willing to embrace them, are not willing to accept them. Right? They're not willing to accept it. They're not willing to embrace it. Yeah, they don't want to adopt this technology. See, take it or leave it. You can't fight these technologies. They are here to stay, and they are here to stay forever. They are here to stay, and they're here to stay forever. So what would you do? Start accepting them. Start in your industry, try as much as possible to know the latest technology. As it's coming out, be among the first person who is aware of it and leverage on it quickly. Don't say, no, I'm not accepting this technology. No. See, the earlier you accept it, the better for you. And I'm being serious with that. Equipment can, this failure to adopt modern farming techniques, technology. And let me tell you, this equipment can result to low productivity and competitiveness. And that's true. So, but my first advice is try as much as possible to cover the technology gap. Be aware of what is happening in the industry. What's the latest technology? Be aware. Accept them. Adopt them. Try them out. Be the first to use them. Be the first to know about them. Be the first to try it out. And in so doing, you are closing the technology gap. You are closing that gap. You are closing that technology gap. I hope you guys are learning something. So far, I've shared how many points so far now. I've shared number one, market volatility. Number two, weather and environment factors, regulation challenges. That's okay, no, sorry. Number one, market volatility. Number two, weather and environmental factors. Number three, mismanagement in mismanagement. Financial mismanagement, that's number three. Number four, regulation in regulation challenges. Number five is technological gaps. So I've shared five reasons why agribusinesses fail. I can go on and I'll try and drop more. I'll try my best to drop more. I have so many points on my notes why agribusinesses fail. We've not even gone far. So, but however, if you are here, anybody who is interested in agribusiness, share this link with them. Share this link with them. Let them get this information. Let them get this knowledge. Let them understand why agribusiness is failing and how they can avoid it. Share this link with them, please. Share this link with them. So if you are listening on Facebook, share it to your friends, share it to your family members. If you know anybody who is considering investing in agribusiness, share this link with them. This information could really save them and help them. So please share this link with them. All right. So other reason why let's move on. Number six now, access to capital. In another class, I'm going to deal with how to raise funds for agribusiness. I will deal with it properly. How to raise funds for agribusiness. I will deal with it in another topic. Because actually another reason why agribusiness is very capital intensive. It's very capital intensive. People don't know. It's very capital intensive. And a lot of people don't have access to funds. They don't have access to finance and they jump into it. Somebody might have just advised them with 500K, you can start. Imagine, I share my experience here. I went to catfish without proper knowledge. And I was swimming I was drowned with by water or by the business. You know, that's a funny experience I had. Then why I didn't have access to enough funds. Just raised, I think I raised 1 million and I put in, was it up to 1 million that I raised? to start. So, but the idea is that I went into something I have enough knowledge. I went into something I didn't have enough idea about, and I didn't have enough funds. So, access to funds is another reason why agribusinesses can fail. Access to funds. People don't have enough funds because it's capital intensive. Take it from me. Agribusiness is capital intensive. It's very, very capital intensive. Very, very capital intensive. So what should you do? The only thing you can do about it is have enough funds. But don't worry, in other class, I'm going to deal with how to raise funds for agribusiness. I've been privileged enough by the grace of God to be able to raise funds for business, for agribusiness, for my agribusiness. So I'll share some my own strategy in subsequent class. But however, for today, I just want you to be aware that lack of funds is another reason why agribusiness is free. You started it, you don't have enough funds to sustain it. You need money to sustain agribusiness. It's very capital intensive. I won't lie to you. It's very capital intensive. So you need to do your proper planning. Scripture said, the word of God said, who build a house without first counting its cost. So before you go into any agri-tech, so any agri-business, you must count your cost. Be so sure of it that what you have is enough to take that business for it to manage that agri-business till harvest. You must be very, very sure of it. Because of course it's very capital intensive, and a lot of people have limited access to loans, to investment capitals, and this can lead to restricted growth opportunities. So you need to have proper plan, count your cost. That's the only way to avoid this one. Count your cost. Be so sure you have enough funds, you have access to enough funds before you jump into it. Count your costs. So if for example, you're going to, when I say count your costs, for example, you're going to, oh shit, what's this? For example, you're going into, um, um, catfish. Let me use catfish as an example. For example, you're going to catfish. What do you do for catfish? Count, how many bags do you need to, say, for example, let's say you're stocking from fingerling. So how many bag of fish do you need to buy to feed it from to feed the cat to feed your cat your fingerlings to table size? Do you need to repair your ponds? Do you need to fix a pond? Do you need to get your ponds? How much will it cost you? How much will you really need to transport the bag? All the bags you need to buy. How much you need to it will cost you to transport them to the farm? You need to do your proper funds to know how much you need to run the business. A lot of people doesn't do all these things. So they just so, it's big money. Jump into it, and before you know, they start swimming and start saying, business has swallowed them. The business can really swallow people. Honestly, if you don't do your proper planning, you must plan properly as regarding the area of funds. Is the capital currently have, is it enough? If it's enough going, if it's not enough, how do I raise it? How do I raise more funds? You need to look into all these things before you jump into agribusiness. Then beyond that, another reason again that why agribusinesses fail, infrastructure issues. Now, inadequate transportation, storage, and processing facility can hinder the efficiency movement of agricultural produce. Now you're into tomatoes. That's why you need to also consider what kind of crops do I need to farm. So in considering what kind of crops, you also think the infrastructure to put in place. These are things you need to do. So imagine you're into tomatoes. Do you have infrastructure for storage facilities? How do you store your tomatoes? Especially if market people are underpricing your produce. If not, they'll underprice it and you have option because they also know that it will perish and you don't have option. You have to sell even though you're not making anything out of it. So is there a storage facility? Have you considered how do you transport your produce from the farm to the market? Do you need to get transport for it? How do you even prevent the crops like tomatoes and all that? For crops like plantain or yam or cassava, rice, those ones might not be that troubled, but crops like tomatoes, bell pepper, habaneros pepper, you have to consider how do you transport them. Cucumber, watermelon, how do you transport them to the final consumers or to the market? This not putting these things into proper not putting these things into considerations and jumping into it like that could lead to failure in agribusiness. Infrastructural issues has led to a lot of people shutting down their farms. So you need to put those things into consideration. Okay. Okay, this will just lead to the next point. Market access. A lot of people doesn't have market. I won't flog this again. We've talked about market volatility, fluctuation in markets, we've talked about that. But market access, a lot of people doesn't have access to market. And I've said I'm going to do a session where I'll talk about how to secure your market. Right? I'll teach you how to secure your market for your produce. Over time I've done this. So I'll teach you some of my own strategies that I use in securing markets for my own self. So, so market access. There are difficulties in markets, difficulty in accessing markets or distribution channels or distribution network, whichever you want to call it now, could limit sales and profitability, and that limiting sales and profitability could also lead to what we could also lead to what can affect the business. That will not make you to shut down the farm. So, but you need to put those into consideration. Market access. How do you access your market? How do you get your produce to the market? Is it close to you? Is there proximity? And one other thing again, I don't know if I've pen it down here, but when you start looking at proximity of market, you also consider it's also good to consider proximity to raw materials. The raw materials, are they close to you? How do you also get them to the farm? Your own raw materials that you need, how do you get them to the farm? Are they close to you? That things you need to put into place. Not putting into consideration could lead to failure in farm, right? Labor shortage of skilled labor. Ah, this one is common. Shortage of skilled labor can disrupt production and increase operational cost, and that can lead to what? Failure in agribusiness. Shortage in labor. There's a shortage in labor everywhere, all over the world. It's a global issue. Shortage in labor. So I think for example, in the UK one is even worse. At some point, they go to other country to employ people from those countries, bring them here, give them visa to get into the country to do some skilled labor works for them. In Nigeria, I've found in a lot. I've experience in Nigeria and in the UK and some other places. In Nigeria, eh, we go as far as going to Benue State to get those guys. It's difficult, honestly difficult. In short, I've seen some people now coming up, some HRS companies coming up to focus on agri, getting your labor to work in your farm is a very good thing because it's a very tough one. I've managed farms in Nigeria. That's one of our big problems. And if you don't have proper system, if you don't have proper structures or strategies to get skilled workers, that can lead to your folding up of your agribusiness. you know, so that could lead because that could disrupt your production, could affect your production. It could lead to increase in operation costs, and that would definitely affect your capital. You know, so you need to think of how do you get workers, how do you get skilled workers, how do you even manage your skilled workers? That challenge. These are challenges you should put into consideration before you jump into agribusiness. Then another thing again is because I'm looking at this from a global perspective, I will touch on global factors, right? I'll touch on global factors a bit. International, of course, global factors play a key role. Now, let me tell you how global factors play a key role. For example, in Nigeria, I heard our president said a statement some time back. He said, We know do we use net dollar? That why would bother that dollar is increasing? No, that's global factor. So there are certain global factors that can affect your raw materials that will lead to the increment of your raw materials, and that alone can affect your production, and that alone can affect your sales. Global factors is key. If you pay attention to it. So international factors like disputes, currency fluctuations, like the dollar I just mentioned, currency fluctuation. So farmers in Nigeria right now are suffering, and that's the reason why a lot of there's food scarcity. That's the reason why there is high price in food. Food is currently the price of food is high. Some of the reason why these things are high is food because of global factors like dollar fluctuations that we've been experiencing in Nigeria, and it's not just Nigeria that thing affects, it's globally. So um global factors like Ukraine and Russia wars. That's another global factors that affected Nigeria. Imagine Russia and Ukraine are fighting and it's affecting Nigeria. Why? Because they are the highest producer of sunflower. So sunflower, that's where it comes from. And Nigeria is best to do so we can produce those things. There's the highest producer of a lot of the series. What's it called? Ukraine produced them. So because of the war, that was the global factors, and it affected agribusinesses in on a global scale. You know, so when such things happen, first world, they kind of come up with strategies to prevent it or minimize it. The third world countries like Nigerians, or here is their case. So those are some things you need to put into considerations. Right? What kind of global factors will affect your produce, and how can you mitigate it? How can you minimize it? So when you write your business plan and I literally I actually advise you before you go into any agri business, have your business plan. Some of these things I've mentioned. If you have a proper business plan put in place, already they would have discussed some of these things in the business plan. So it's critical you have a business plan. It's critical you write a business plan. It's very critical. You have a business plan that can help you mitigate some of these things I've listed, I've measured, right? Then beyond that, another thing you need to also consider again is environmental concerns. Growing concerns about sustainability and environmental impacts can affect the reputation and marketability of agribusiness. Environmental concerns. Recently, there's a news on Twitter, or yeah, somebody said he used a brand, a paste tomatoes in Nigeria, and those are environmental sustainabilities. Now we can see on a global scale. There's a conversation going on regenerative agriculture, and they are trying to introduce environmental sustainabilities. So as a farmer, you have to check the environmental sustainability of your business before you move into it. Environmental sustainability is very, very critical. You have to check it. Then the last one here is health crisis. There could be some health crisis that can affect your agribusiness. Health crisis like the last pandemic we had, like COVID-19. That was very disruptive. Those are environmental crises that could happen, that could affect your agribusinesses. And some of the people that were saying they're scamming. Those are some of the things that happened in 2020. Health crisis like COVID could hit your farm and could hit your agribusiness and affect you in a way that you cannot even recover from it because it was too shut down. Everybody was indoor. That could it has a very huge impact. And some of the ways to avert that is to build um resilience. Have a resilience. There are some resilience method. You need to have some of those resilience method. You have to have resiliency, honestly, to avert this like health crisis like that of COVID-19 that happens to us. We pray it doesn't happen again. So those are things beyond COVID-19. We've also seen the case of is it Ebola? No, bird flu. Bird flu eating some people's poultry. This kind of Earth crisis, like bird flu could eat your farm, eat your poultry bed, and all the birds in one night, or you just wake up and see all of them died, or thousands of them died. Those are critical things you need to put into place. Consider ways to resist them, and to avoid those kind of bird flu, or for those of you who are into piggery, um, um, swine. I think this is one disease. I can't call those pig diseases again. That could impact on them and boom, destroy the farm. Moving from there, another one again is health crisis. Actually, is critical. Health crisis. Health crisis also boils down to the disease in crops. Like I mentioned, I've shared my experience of my bell pepper being affected. It could result. It could also affect, you know. So all these are some of the ways that in, some of the things that leads to failure in agribusiness. Not that you don't have experience, you are very experienced, you understand what you are doing, but because of some of all these things I've mentioned, could impact what you are doing, and your successful agribusiness often lead to failure if there's no proper measures to advance some of these things I've shared so far. Successful agribusiness often adapts to these challenges by implementing sound management practice, embracing innovation and technology, diversifying their operations and staying attaining to market changes and regulating changes. So ways to avoid some of all these things in general. So I think so far I've been able to you've learned some one or two things. I've touched 12 things that leads to agribusiness failure. One, I said market volatility. Two, I said it's weather and environmental factors. Third, financial mismanagement. Fourth, regulatory challenges. Fifth, technology gaps. Sixth, access to capital. Then I talked about infrastructure issues, market access, labor shortage, global factors, environmental concerns, earth crisis. So at this junction, if there's any question, you can drop to the comment section. I can take it. Even if it's not today, you can always come back. I can always come back to take some of the question. I'm seeing some questions here. Let's check. Okay, I see Peter is saying, oh, okay, sorry, let me see. Okay, sorry. How about simple manual work that every farmer can do, e.g. rainwater storage? That's fantastic. That is also a good one. I know somebody will teach how to harvest water. There's something they call harvest. They can check it out on Google. Some farmers in some locations in Nigeria are doing it. They call it harvest water from the dams, from the rainfall to farm, and that's a very good practice. Um, or I about planting so-called pioneer plants like bamboo to increase soil quality. Both does not need a lot of money, but local engagement to create circle economy with sustainable resources. That one you just mentioned is around environmental sustainability. What you just mentioned, and this is bamboo, is around environmental sustainability I talked about. All right. Then there are many possibilities to start. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. There are so many possibilities to start with amounts. There are so many possibilities to start with almost no money. It's a well coordinated, sustainable command, especially farmers having the experience. Nothing is waste. Everything can be used for the benefit of the village community. Please think about. Yes, I agree. The stronger farm in Benue in Benin Republic that does that. There's stronger data actually in Nigeria. There are some stronger farms in Nigeria, but some of them are filled up already. That was the concept of stronger farm anyway. That's the concept of stronger farm. And then they are doing that something that is really good, something that if you can go in actually in agriculture, there's nothing like waste. So for example, if you're into palm oil, being into palm oil farm, so every aspect of it. So you process the palm oil, the palm kernel, you can see the palm kernel, the shaft, you can use, I mean everything is not waste. The sludge you can use to feed pigs. So everything is not waste. It actually every aspect of agriculture. Most of the things are not waste. You can use them, you can recycle them to something else again. And that's something you can, and we talk about from that angle, it's also fall under environmental sustainability, which I touched about. Is also fall around environmental sustainability. So far, I hope you've learned one or two things from today's class why agribusiness is failed. I hope to also teach on some of the things to do to be very successful in agribusiness. Maybe the next episode. Don't miss it. Thank you for joining me today. For every one of you joining me so far. And please, if you know anyone who is interested in agribusiness, who is thinking of going to agribusiness, who is considering going to agribusiness, share this video with them. How they get to learn some of these things we teach today. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you're watching from YouTube, subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can get notification whenever we drop videos like this or go on live like this, so you can get to join us. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us today. I'm super, super grateful. Have a lovely day, everyone.